Bang bang! What's going on, guys? You're back, tuned into another episode of the main event on Talkin Hands. Says I'm Preston, joined by my co-host, Mr. Danny Betts. Exciting fight this week. We will be talking about Beterbiev taking on Yarde. Before we get into that, been having a couple weeks off, but we did cash in on our last show. I guess we could briefly touch on that. We had Tank Davis, got it done round 9, I believe it was. He won in round 9. But Danny, thoughts on Tank's fight? And then I see contract negotiations are still being sorted out for Tank versus Ryan Garcia. But again, hopefully that fight gets made. Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, we cast another one, man. We cast it big, called it like I expected that fight how it went, like perfectly. It was actually right after round 8, in between rounds, his team, Hector Garcia's team said no more. And that's why I love FanDuel because they paid me round 8 and round 9. So I cashed on both of those plus the 7 rounds to 12. Good performance, man. It's a great performance. I still see a lot of delusional people out there saying that he was losing the fight, which the scorecard says otherwise, and my eyes say the other way too, because Garcia only landed like 16% of his punches, man, and I think Davis landed like 48 or something like that, 41. Good performance in my eyes. Nice fight. Hopefully we get the fight with Ron Garcia, but I mean, you know how that is, bro. And not only that, we got worried about them two agreeing and the promoters and Golden Boy, and hopefully that'll be a huge fight. I don't know why they want to make it.
Yeah. I didn't think he was losing the fight. I don't, I'm not like a huge fan of him, but yeah, I thought he was controlling the fight pretty well. Maybe he gave up 2 rounds, but it was a pretty easy fight for him, which was the expectation, right? It was kind of like a tune-up fight for the Ryan Garcia fight, which was supposed to be this weekend, but Ryan Garcia is not fighting this weekend, so instead we're doing Beterbiev Yarde. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to ask you: you really think that was a tune-up fight?
For Tank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I don't consider that a tune-up fight. Fortuna, literally, he's got the name in his last name is a tune-up fight for Garcia. A champion at 130.
But
I
that
know a
guy
weight
was
class.
what, a plus 2,000 underdog versus
I
Chris
know
Hogan.
that, but he ain't no tune-up in my eyes. If he's a champion in the level, a weight class before, you ain't a tune-up to me in my eyes. And a former Olympian. People just want to discredit how that's just me. I was just asking because a lot of people were saying that. I was just disagreeing with that.
I mean, there's no way Tank Davis's team takes that fight. They don't think it's a easy win, Like he wouldn't have fought what's his face, Cruz again. He wouldn't take that fight, I'm sure, like in preparation for a Ryan Garcia fight, because that was a very tough fight for him. And Cruz has looked very good since that bout. So I think it was calculated taking that fight personally. Then what we have last week, we didn't have a show last week. It was just the one fight, and it was a surprising upset for, I would say, most. Liam Smith got the job done, gets Chris Eubanks Jr. out of there. I think it was round 4. Huge win for Liam Smith. Danny, any thoughts on that one?
Nothing. I wasn't really like I was texting you. Wasn't really interested in it. I was leaning towards Eubanks. I'm not a fan of him, so I'm pretty happy he got knocked the hell out. But I'll tell you this: I was telling the guys on the stream, if you want some entertainment, go check out that press conference they had before the fight. They got super personal, man. So go check it out if you want a little laugh.
Yeah, I don't think that does much for either guy, really, right? Because Liam Smith's kind of in no
Yeah.
man's land. He can't fight Canelo. Triple G's still out there, but he just can't compete with those guys. And that was a huge win for him. Maybe that's probably the biggest win of his career. I'm trying to think offhand. I can't think of anyone bigger that he's defeated.
Name
So
wise, I don't think so.
yeah, so that was a huge win for him. But Yeah.
I know Connor Ben's laughing.
Oh yeah, right. They're supposed to fight, and then the weight issues and whatnot. So makes total sense. Nasty Nate in the chat. What's going on, Nasty Nate? So we can move on then. This week, huge fight. Is this one's not in England? Is it? It's during the afternoon though, right?
it is. It's like at 5, I think it is 5 Eastern.
Yeah. Okay. So this weekend we do have Artur Beterbiev taking on Anthony Yarde. Huge fight. Beterbiev probably top 10 pound for pound, I think, in all likelihood. Current odds at our favorite book. That's mybookie.ag. Enter promo code PUBSPORTS. Get that 50% deposit match bonus. Credit debit, 100% Bitcoin. Current odds have Beterbiev at a minus 900 favorite. Yarde, the comeback is plus 450. Round props, 5.5 is where they're setting the line for the rounds. Over is minus 150. Under 5.5 is plus 110. Danny, thoughts? Do we get a stunning upset, or does Beterbiev do what Beterbiev always does?
And that's knockout motherfuckers. But Beterbiev, yeah, he's 18-0, 18 KOs. Yarde is 23-2. He's only been knocked out once by Kovalev. And I was checking that fight out, man. He started off okay. But he dug himself into a hole early in that fight. And then he started getting a little bit reckless. Thing about Yarde, I like his movement. He's athletic, bouncy, pretty safe. He tries to establish the jab, set up the right hand. He's pretty quick in the beginning of the fight. He's pretty steady. He's not like a fast starter. But after like round 4.5, 5 rounds, he starts losing that movement. He starts getting tired, starts being easier to hit. He's pretty stationary. He's not bouncy like he was the last couple rounds, early rounds. And he hurt Kovalev. I think it was round 7, if I'm not mistaken. And he went in there for the kill. He tried to finish him. But he got even worse. He got more, gassed out. And that's when Kovalev took over even more. And he finished him in like the 11th round. And Beterbiev, man, he's just a tank, man. I call him the Terminator. The dude hits like Hulk. Like he's got some power in those hands. He's pretty slow. The thing with him, and if you remember against Joe Smith, he is a slow starter, Beterbiev, but Joe Smith thought it was a great idea to just start off that fight, just taking it to him and brawling and making it into a fight. And that obviously didn't last long. So I don't think styles make fights, and I think Yarde is not going to do that. All the fights I've seen from him, he's going to try to use a jab, be safe. He's pretty responsible with that right hand, keeping it, like on the phone. So that's one thing I really like. But like I said, man, after like that 5th round, he starts slowing down bad. And then he gets sloppy, and then he's easier to hit. And I think Beterbiev is going to take over and start warming up like in round 4, taking over. So that round prop you said 5.5 is pretty sharp. But I think we're getting good numbers here just because of like a recent fight in Joe Smith that he got finished early in that fight. So I think we're getting some nice little numbers here, and you know where I'm going. 7th round to 12th round, I found it at plus 275. And then these round props are crazy to me because he's got like 4 finishes in the later half of the fights. He does have a lot of finishes in the beginning, first half, but I just think Yarde survive the way his style is. He can survive. And then round 7 and 9, I think is plus 430. I took a shot on that, and then I took the single rounds like 7, 8, 9. I think it was 1300, 1300, and 1800, which those lines are crazy to me. So I had to take those too. So I see him getting a KO later on, like round 8.
Yarde, to me, Yarde is almost too like muscular when he's in the ring there. Like he's really like kind of like a jack guy, and I think that doesn't help his case. So Beterbiev just marches forward, throws that jab, throws that straight. Eventually it's gonna land. Once it lands, then you're like, okay, you're done. You're basically done. because it's like 2 shots, okay, fight's over,
It
like
is
every
bad.
time. And this should be the segue for him versus Bivol, but I know Bivol wants to face or Canelo. I don't know if Canelo wants the rematch or not, but I know they're still talking about that. Which I don't know why Canelo would want that fight. He looked horrible the first time, and I don't think it'd be much would change. But yeah, I think a Beterbiev knockout. I guess 7-12, does sound about right because Yard Yard's not just going to run around,
Yeah.
like to beat this guy, you have to just box him and run. That's why the fight, if it happens, versus Bivol, would be so great because Beterbiev
Hmm.
would have to get away from the jab. If he couldn't get away from the jab, I think Dimitri Bivol would win that fight. But Bivol's never fought a guy with one punch knockout power like Beterbiev. So that would just be a crazy, crazy fight. But yeah, I think I take Artur Beterbiev. Yeah, 7-12. Danny said plus 275. That makes total sense to me. Like we said, 18 fights, 18 knockouts.
Yeah.
Uh,
all over, like, first round, second round, 10th round.
yeah.
It's
And his KO prop is probably, I think you mentioned minus 400 last
yeah,
time. So it
yeah,
is probably juice, but this guy goes in to finish the fight.
yeah.
Eventually he catches you, you go to sleep. It's like
Dude, like Joe Smith, he's never been knocked down in his whole career, like even amateurs. And look what he did to him in the last fight.
yeah, we did a prediction for that one. I think we kind of said the same thing, probably 7-12. But I was worried because Joe Smith, I think, was talking a lot of mess that like
I
he could
didn't.
do something, and then I was like, "You're done. This
I
is it."
thought he was smarter than that, bro. Why you going in there swinging right away?
Yeah, so that one got finished very quickly, but yeah, no, it should be a good, exciting fight for however long it lasts. This guy definitely, I think, is a top 10 guy in the world, regardless of
Mhm.
weight class. So everyone should tune in. No UFC this week, and when UFC returns, the guys are going to be up till 3 a.m. watching
Bro,
some,
four.
yeah, some not so great talent in Derek Lewis and Sergey Spivak, but that's just my opinion. Yeah, this should be a good fight. Danny, any other thoughts regarding this one?
Um, no, I mean we mentioned it's in England, so that's Yard's hometown basically, and over there. So shout out to Beterbiev. It doesn't matter because this ain't going the distance in my eyes. I'll tell you this though, Beterbiev has been knocked down twice. Yard does have power in the right hand, and all his knockouts are from the first round to the seventh round. So his best shot is to try to land, that right hand early, but I mean, I just don't see it because once he, like you said, once he feels that power, bro, he's gonna shut up and then
Yeah,
go down.
yeah, I completely agree. It takes a lot for me to pick against this guy, and Anthony Yarde is not the guy I will stick my hat on, so to speak. As Big Show put up there, we do still have Buy Me a Coffee. If you guys ever feel so inclined, go to buymeacoffee.com/pubsportsradio. $5 per quote cup of coffee, and in all donations do go to a future Pub Sports trip, East Coast trip. Actually, we're still planning that an East Coast trip through buymeacoffee.com/pubsportsradio. And as always, we do have Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a great app for everyone. If you like your props, your round props, your receiving yards, NFLs this weekend, NBA every day, hockey, you can get it all done there at Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com, promo code PubSports, get the 100% deposit bonus up to $100. PrizePicks.com, promo code PubSports. And I will just quickly mention memberships. Harold, thank you so much for becoming a member. Harold Williams, new member. And Nasty Nate in the chat, he's green. He's a member.
Yes, sir.
That is also $4.99, $5 a month. Helps us immensely. If you guys do feel inclined, become a member. And we will be at UFC San Antonio. So we would love for any and all the guys in the chat want to stop by. That's March 25th. And we do have merchandise. Picture just put up there. streamlabs.com/pubsportsradio/merch. Get some of that great merchandise that Big Show designed for everyone. That should do it. Best bet time, Danny. Your best bet. I think I'm lockstep with you. I think we're going to cash another one. Go ahead, Danny.
Yes, sir, man. I honestly see this fight going pretty similar to the Davis fight. So round 7-12 plus 275. I think that's a crazy number. I think round 1-6 is minus 170. I think it's recency bias. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
So and then check me out on Twitter at Danny Betts. Like I said, I'm gonna sprinkle those round props. See if we could double dip round 7, 8, 9, round 7 to 9. I'm gonna try a triple dip in that. So hopefully we cash. Should be a nice highlight for Beterbiev.
Yeah, that is nuts that they would juice 1-6 when
It's crazy.
Yeah, usually Beterbiev. I'm not saying he takes rounds off, but yeah, he waits some time to find the range, and then it's night. So I agree with Danny there. I'm on the 7-12 as well. Plus 275 makes complete and total sense to me. Beterbiev gets it done, and then hopefully he moves on to bigger and better fights in the future. That's all we have for you guys for this week. As Danny always says, give us a like. Comment down below on your thoughts on this fight, any future fights, maybe your thoughts on what happened with Tank, future early prediction for Tank Ryan Garcia, if you guys have it. Any and all comments are welcome. Give it a like, join the membership, and we shall see you guys probably next week. I'll have to look at the card, but this was the main event on Talkin Hands. We will see you guys next week. Peace.